Hi there, folks. Simon here. This is the 2022 TAC Championship. This is between rabbitboy84 and alion02. Rabbit in white, Alion in black. This is game 2 of their 4-game match. Alion won game 1. Now we're looking at game 2. This is played on a 6x6 board, 15 minutes on the clock, 15-second increment, meaning 15 seconds added to your time after every turn. And 2 komi, meaning 2 gets added to black's flat count score at the end of the game if it does not end in a road. And we are good to go. The winner of this whole match, and I believe we're only playing this one right now, the winner of this whole match will go to the semifinals. So here we go with game 2, Rabbit versus Alion. First move is A1. And then going for the hug opening. Alion playing the hug. Oh, what a punk. Okay, so I just say punk because not a lot of people play the hug opening, so it's a really unusual opening to play. And so it's something that that Alion has been practicing for a while. Try and do that as black. So we're seeing white continue just play upwards, going for this vertical line. I am a bit surprised that... Okay, I was about to say, I'm surprised that a capstone hasn't dropped yet on C4, and then there it is. The capstone drops on C4. That capstone's in a great position. It follows a lot of the guidelines we talk about in the capstones video of TAC University, specifically where it can't be isolated, it's centrally located, it's played early, it's got a lot of those guidelines. So, now we're seeing white potentially shifting gears here, playing down at C1. This is to possibly allow for a horizontal line. But he's going to have to make that connection here at A2 if he wants to keep that alive. So far, not looking too bad for white, to be honest. Not looking too bad at all. You will see all this chat over here to the side. This is from game 1, so don't worry about that yet until a new message pops up below that one. Then you'll be able to see it. That it's coming from this exact game, not the previous one. Because they wasted no time jumping into game 2 from game 1. Not even a 2-minute break, just jumped right in. Black playing at A2, stopping white from making that connection there. It is tempting to drop a capstone here at A3. The problem with that is that you're up against the edge of the board, and being at the edge of the board can be pretty troublesome. It's a difficult spot to be in for sure. And you want to get that capstone in the game, and you want to have it be relevant for the whole time. And putting up against the edge can sometimes keep it so that capstone is not relevant. Drops a flat there instead. Much smarter play, I'd say. He's waiting for one of these flats to make a capture. If one of these flats makes a capture, then he can drop a capstone in that open space. But I don't think that Alion is going to give him that opportunity anytime soon. We're much more likely to see him shift gears, go for that horizontal line now. That's what it looks like he's going for. And white, likewise, going for the horizontal line, playing down at D1, trusting in this A3 to be the anchor point for that threat. And if black wants to cut off A3, doing so with A2 will just result in another flat being placed. Doing so with B3 will allow white to place at B3, whether that be with a wall or not a wall, a flat or a capstone. Likely a capstone, really great spot for it, that would allow him to go for the vertical and also cut off white's horizontal they're going for. So ultimately, would not be a bad play for white if black made that. So black's not going to do that. White's doing a pretty good job here. This is a good setup for white going for this horizontal. And this is a good formation right now for white. Rabbit showing up to this game, playing some strong moves. I believe white does have momentum. Let's see. 1, 2, 3 moves for a road. Whereas black would need 1, 2, 3 moves also, but white's making the first one. So yeah, white does have momentum. Okay, I think what black is going to do, let's say white plays here. Black plays at f3. What black's going to do is, instead of take c2 minus or plus to make that, black's going to take c2 left onto b2. And that's going to interrupt white's horizontal line. And it's also going to still allow black to make that threat with c4 minus. So that, I think, is what we're going to be looking at, that c2 left movement. So white does play at e1. Will black now play at f3? I feel like black playing at f3 allows black to ultimately come out on top there. Abyss saying white has the psychological advantage because he's being hugged. All right, there you go. In seriousness, though, Alion has the psychological advantage since he came out winning in game 1. All right, so we're not seeing an automatic f3 play here from black. Alion taking his time, comes down with the capstone. Surprising play. I expected f3 for sure. Will we get f1 from white here still? And no capstone from white. No capstone yet. He's running out of opportunities to drop that in a meaningful place. White may decide to drop that capstone at d2 to cut off black's horizontal. That would ultimately lead to black shifting gears, probably playing up at c4 and going for a vertical line. Or just making the c2 left after white drops the capstone here. Ooh, black comes down, or white comes down with a2. I like that. I like that. If black comes up with a1 to cut that off, white drops a capstone there? No, not a capstone. White just recaptures with b2. Capstone in the bottom left corner would be pretty awful. But I actually like this for white. White doesn't seem to be in a bad position here. I think this works out. Black's got a decent position for blocking this, but I think that white ultimately has the advantage here. If c2 minus happens, white drops that capstone at c2, I'm pretty sure. All right, that opens up that spot for the capstone. Will he take it or drop a flat there? What's the play? Putting the capstone there at c2, the reason why that might be a little bit dangerous is that he won't be able to use that capstone to capture up and interrupt black's horizontal threat. So he's instead going to drop at a3 first. Okay. Okay. Pluto was saying in the Twitch chat that a3 capstone for white would be really good. Hmm. I don't know. I kind of like this. I like this for white. I think white's doing a good job here. And still no capstone for white. We're already on move 10. Now, one of the main guidelines for capstones that we talk about in the capstones video of TAC University is to play your capstone early. Now, for the longest time, at the beginning, when TAC first came out, people would hold on to their capstones and wait sometimes until like move 20 to drop a capstone on the board. And that was sort of the meta for a while until we realized that an early capstone can just really swing the the game in your favor. If your opponent delays and you drop yours early, you've got a huge advantage there. Hmm. Black now playing at C2. Potentially to keep white from dropping a cap there. Potentially to capture over onto B2 and set up for a winning a capture on A2. I don't know. There's a lot. There's a lot going on here for so early on in the game. We're just on turn 10. Apparently, Willembot keeps giving different evaluations, but it's kind of messing with the evaluation that white hasn't dropped a capstone yet. And Willembot expects white's next move to be a capstone placement in every line that it looks at for the past several moves, too. And Abyss in the chat saying that capstone placement is one of the trickier aspects of TAC still to this day, and it definitely is. And it makes a big difference. Playing a strong capstone makes a huge difference, even if it is early on, move 6, move 4. It can be a big deal and make a big difference in the game, if getting that capstone in the right spot. We saw in the game between Manatee and No Hat Coder in game 2 of their match. Manatee's capstone did not move the entire game from where it was originally placed, and ultimately that capstone was in such a good spot that it anchored so many different threats and so many different positions that he was able to sort of coast to a victory. Not solely because of the capstone, of course, but the capstone positioning definitely helped there. It never had to move in order to maintain that advantage. So definitely something that that can affect a game's outcome. Okay, so the A4 was placed and then immediately black drops at F3. Just an immediate F3. So black is going for this horizontal line, sees something. Maybe he thinks he sees a Tinue or something like that. I don't think there is one here. Sure, it's pretty close to a really good position, but I don't think there's a Tinue here. What's the capture that he's making? Is it going to be B3 minus or A1 plus? Because either of those result in a recapture and then a capstone being dropped after black drops their other flat. Because A1 plus, then we get B2 left, and then black drops something like a flat or a wall, and then white drops a capstone. If it's b3 minus, that gets a little bit trickier, I think. b3 minus is a little bit trickier to deal with. You would probably see b1 left. And white was unconcerned with the f3, so played up at a5, making the tag threat. Black also has 2c1 left, which apparently Willembot likes, but I don't like that one nearly as much as b3 minus. He goes for the 2c1 left. Now I think the only move here is... Oh, he can't do b2 minus. b2 minus doesn't work. Because if he does b2 minus, black does a1 plus, and I think that would be Tinue. Is this Tinue? It might be. Because what's the move that stops this? Is it 2a1 minus? What does black do if white does 2a1 minus? Does he wall at a2? Or does he flat at a2? Is this Tinue? No. It can't be Tinue, can it? Was that a misclick, or is that white resigning? I think that was white resigning, saying they saw the Tinue. Dang. I'm pretty sure that's a Tinue, and that's a tricky Tinue for sure. Because what do you do with 2c? What do you do to this? Because you can't do b1 minus. 2a2 minus is the move here. And then black plays at a2. Huh. Okay. All right. That's the game. So congratulations to Alion for winning game 2. So won both games there. So congratulations to that. But we do still have a 4-game match. There's 2 more games in this matchup. Rabbit could win both of those, and then there's some tie-breaking shenanigans that go on. So we will probably schedule those for a different time because I'm sure their brains are both wiped at this point, but they've got another week to schedule those games out. So that is all for today. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out the description below for all things TAC, especially the TAC Discord server, which is where you can find all sorts of TAC resources like strategy guides and people to play with, whether that be online, on PlayTAC, just like this, or on the Discord server playing asynchronously. Lots of other things out there too. Be sure to check that out. And again, thanks for watching. And until next time, have a great day and happy tacking.